for Madawaska. First up, we have Gary Dufour. How this is going to work for every interviewee, we're going to have the same set of questions. It's pretty open-ended so that all persons being interviewed will have the same opportunity to say what they want to say in how they want to say it. And if any questions can come up and get answered through the live, we will do our best to address those before the end of the interview. But if not, you can feel free to leave comments, and that's something that can be addressed in maybe another forum. So we're going to jump right into it.
Hi,
and I guess everybody knows who this gentleman is, Mr. Gary Dufour. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Nicole.
So for anybody who might not know you, just tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yes, my name is Gary Dufour. I've been a resident of Madawaska for the last 62 years. I've lived in the town itself for the last 38 years. I own Gary's Upholstery in Madawaska, and then my wife, I owned Daisy's Flowers. So we're pretty well-rounded in being around town.
Yeah, and having two businesses.
Yes.
Wow. How long have you owned your own businesses?
I've been in business myself 38 years. And been doing the upholstery business for 40 years now.
Holy moly.
Yes.
You don't look old enough to be doing that.
Well, that's what they keep telling me, but I don't feel that old either.
Well, that's quite the feat, so congratulations on that. So why do you think that you would be the best choice for one of the two seats that are open?
Well, I feel over the last 38 years, I've served the community in several aspects. I've been a member of Rotary, and I've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce, president of the Chamber of Commerce, president of Rotary. I'm currently with the Knights of Columbus in Madawaska, and I've been open with the people of the town, and I've been a good voice for the people of the town over the past 38 years. At the Selectmen's meetings or the town hall or the town meetings. So, people have come by and asked me all kinds of questions and get information, and currently I'm part of the planning board also in town.
Okay.
So I get a well-rounded version of how the town is running, and I would like to be able to be there to be a voice for the people of the town of Madawaska.
That's a really nice way to put that. Because it does sound, especially when you do have your own business, you see and hear things that maybe, people who are higher up or in different community
yes.
venues, or so to speak, might not. Would this be your first experience in a small government position?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, except for being on the planning board. I mean, I've been on the planning
yeah.
board now for 8 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I was on, and like I said, I've been part of the chamber for the most part of almost 20 years before I left for a little while. And I needed a new experience. And I think I'd be a good candidate to help the people of the town of Madawaska understand how the town is and to bring what the townspeople would like this town to be like.
Very good. Do you have any special projects or new ideas that you would wish to share right now?
Not really. I'm very open. I've always been open. I want to create more fiscal responsibility for the townspeople to where they know where their tax dollars is going all the time.
Yeah.
And also to work on infrastructure. There's a lot of infrastructure that needs to be upgraded and repaired. And I think there should be a focus on long-term goal for that. And then also creating an avenue to see if we can start getting some of the smaller businesses or maybe even another big business to come back to the town of Madawaska.
So for infrastructure, is there anything that you find that you feel is most pressing that would need to be addressed first, or?
Well, and they've done some work here in the past, but the roads are a major item.
Yeah.
And then facade lifts, they've been focusing on Main Street, and I think they ought to start focusing on the outer parts of town to where the other businesses are, so we can have a well-rounded, nice, appealing business area, and that would probably start attracting business.
Makes sense.
Yes.
At least to me, anyway. But I'm from Fort Kent, so I guess that doesn't matter, does it? That's all that I have. Did you have any other comments or anything that you would like to share? The floor is yours.
Not really. The only thing I want to say is that I'm here for the people, and I'm going to be running as the person that of integrity and would like to be able to be open and forward. And if everybody has any questions or concerns and needs something addressed, to feel free and come see me and address it. And I'll do all possibility to get it addressed in the right way, so that way it's always out in the open.
Yes, I like that. Integrity is there's much to be said about having that.
Yes.
So as we get ready for the next interview, we are going to just close out for a second while we get the next interviewee ready. Hello, and we are back with Mr. Richard Dion. Very nice to meet you. So it'll be the same questions that we just asked Mr. Dufour. So to start, for anybody who might not know you, can you just introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is Richard Dion. I've lived in the area for 62 years. That's my age. I've worked in the mill for over 41 years on the same paper machine. That's where I started, and that's where I still am today. I'm a father of 2 daughters who have moved away. One of them is in Presque Isle, the other one is in Bar Harbor. Oh. And they're doing well, but I wish they would have stayed in the area. So that's what it is. I've served on the board prior to this, in 2002 to 2008. In the last 2 years, I was chairman. I've served on the planning board for 9.5 years, and I think about 4 years of that I was chair also. I served on the E911 committee back in the early 2000s when the state mandated that we have that. I served on that committee. And I also served on the comprehensive plan that was made before 2010. I'm not sure exactly. I know it was like a 5-6 year period we worked on the comprehensive plan. Okay. And that's where we identified that most of the growth was at the lake in Madawaska, and we needed to upgrade station number 2 for fire because that's where the growth was. So we identified certain areas, and it made sense. Since if you don't look at where the growth is and everything else and where the population is, you can't address those needs.
Yes.
So I'm always for a comprehensive plan. So
where it makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, based on the numbers. No, that's a great point to make. Why do you think that you would be the best candidate for one of those spots?
My past experience, and then people have asked me to run again. That's how I decided to. I said I would do it after I retired, and then I realized maybe the time is now.
Yeah.
I'm not retired yet, but I'm close to that. So, whatever. So, I thought maybe the time is now, and I felt I was ready for it again.
Yeah, you just felt like it was right.
Because I got out in 2008, so.
So you had a little breather. Now you're back.
Right.
Maybe some fresh ideas.
Yeah.
So you have had experience in small government. What have you learned from your time then do you have things that you might do differently now, if you were to come back on the board?
Yes. Well, some of the big concerns I have is how there's been a decline in Madawaska, the businesses and all that. I know no fault of their own. When the paper mills shut down, half the machines are down and everything else. I started there, it was booming. We were expanding. The need for small catalogs was growing. Lightweight paper was great. You know, and then I saw the crumbling down of the paper industry, and it seems like we were at a race to the bottom. You know, who was going to survive? And I've seen great mills out there like Bucksport and Millinocket, you know, who I thought would outlive us, and they went down and we survived, you know. And I think it's the great talent that we have here, and the foresight to invest in the right things, like a cogen years ago and a pipeline to bring steam from across, and, you know, innovation. And these were ideas from around here that people had to say, hey, let's do this.
Yeah.
So I think the local people have the innovation. We have the skills around here. We could do this.
The work ethic in the valley is incredible.
Everywhere I've gone, I've asked people, what's the most important thing? And they said, the people in the valley, they show up for work. They never miss a day of work.
Nope. Or a night's party. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so that's great. You know, that's nice to hear
No,
that too.
Absolutely.
And I've always been proud when I go elsewhere and tell them I'm from Madawaska, one of the four corners of the United States.
Yes. That's something to be so proud
and
of.
everybody says, really, where's that, you know?
It's a nice conversation starter for people who might not know.
Right.
Even where Maine is, and then to try to explain to them, well, we're at the very top.
Right.
Do you have any projects or any ideas that you would like to first bring to the table and introduce to the community, or?
Well, I know if I can get elected, I've only be 20% of the vote. I've always understood that.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to partner with somebody else so you can get more than 40 or 60% of the vote to get, you know, to get something done.
To get something
I
done,
understand that because I've been there before. 20% can't get anything done. You need that 60% majority of the board to whatever. So I have ideas I'd like to bounce off of the others and everything else, but I'd listen to their concerns also and what they bring, you know, whoever it is.
Yeah, and they might be able to mesh together.
You know, you might have half the plate, and I have the other side of the plate that we can mesh together and say, hey, yeah, I thought about this, but you thought about that. We can do this together.
Yeah. That's a really nice way to put that, and it just paints a really nice picture of teamwork, because really that's what community is all about. I appreciate all of your time. The floor is yours. If you have anything else that you would like to add, or.
Okay. Another thing that I see a concern for is a lot of people from away are coming here and buying up real estate and everything else, which is great. You know, I thought 20 years ago, you know, what's going to happen to these old houses? We're an aging community, and then I see these influx of these people coming in and buying. But I also see where the commercial businesses are not being, you know, reutilized. You know, they're passed down to the next generation. Even the farmers in the background, it's commercial farms coming in, and the big block companies are coming in, and you know, UPS, look at them on trucks that deliver to Madawaska. You know, it's sad to see that a UPS and a FedEx truck is the thing we see the most in Madawaska, when we could have a store here that could supply those needs. You know, I know it's tough to compete with those big block guys. You know, we know. You know, but on the other side of that, that helps me, my job, because we make a release paper that is used by these companies to peel off the label to stick on a box.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, I can see the other side of the coin for that too. You know,
Yeah.
we need those services also, but I'd like to see small little businesses be encouraged, you know. Even if it's a small farmer just starting out, then the town help them out somehow, you know, give them a tax break for a year or two or something.
Something, yeah.
You know, something. I think we need to do that, to encourage people to do this. There's some people who have great ideas, but limited on income, you know, or it's a gamble to start a small business, whatever.
Yeah, the resource.
Right.
The resource can be so hard to
You know,
put together.
but there's our people who have done outside things that you never thought would work, and it worked. You know,
That's that innovation.
and another thing I think that would great around here is something for the grandkids. We have a lot of grandparents around here, and they love their grandkids.
Yes, they do.
And if we can bring them here for a couple of weeks and encourage them to do something, whether it's a hunting trip or fishing trip or a little park visit or a little hike in the backwoods or something that says, hey, I had fun over there. I want to go back there to that
Creates
Madawaska.
the need.
Right.
Creates that
you know.
want and that need, yes.
So I'd like to see that, you know, we could do that.
I think that sounds
You
wonderful.
know, we have the Four Corners thing that works great, you know.
Yes.
I think that works good, you know. We had a lot of people years ago before COVID, you know, motorcycle rides. It was a destination, you know. So
I like where your head's at. And I appreciate all of your time and your ideas. We are going to give some extra time for the next interviewee to be ready. So we are just going to fade out for a couple minutes and we will be right back.
thank you, Nicole.
Thank you. And we're back. So we're back with just me. Unfortunately, Drew and Chris were not able to or didn't make it this evening. So we were able to hear from Mr. Dufour and Mr. Dion. So just to run over the dates one more time for anybody who might have missed it or who doesn't know, the voting will be done at the Multi-Purpose Center on June 8th. If there's any changes or anything that you would need to know or be up to date about, you can check the town app online to make sure that you're up to date with all of the current dates and places. Again, this is an interview for the candidates for Board of Selectmen for Madawaska. It's a 3-year term effective in June of this year for the next 3 years. And there are 2 seats available. So there will be voting for that on June 8th. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions, please leave them, as this may not be the last time that you see us or the candidates. Have a great night. Thank you.